Oh my god!
But it was like, half your brain dead.
No, I like. Okay. So I blew my nose, and then I felt that feeling of emptiness, and I leaned back. I was like, "Oh my god, this feels so good." And then I looked down, and there's like a bunch of blood. And I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna not worry about that."
Maybe what I'm feeling is being lightheaded for lots of blood.
Okay, it wasn't a bunch of blood, but it was like a little bit of blood. I don't have like nostril cancer or anything.
All right. We are live, I think. It just froze. Maybe what I'm feeling is being lightheaded.
Remind me to play licensed music while we're streaming. That way we immediately get pulled down.
Yeah, of course.
Double points if it's Nintendo licensed music.
I'm trying to choose audio.
I'm just gonna play the Coconut Mall theme from Mario Party 7, or not Mario Party, Mario Kart. Is that okay?
Yeah. Everybody loves that one.
I know. That's why. Although I personally think Dolphin Shoals is better, but you know, whatever. Right, Rainbow Road.
Sharing.
Every basic ass bitch picks Rainbow Road.
I like Rainbow Road.
Yeah, I know you do. You want to know why? Because you're basic. Enjoy your pumpkin spice lattes.
You like pumpkin? I don't even like pumpkin spice lattes.
I fucking love. I actually had so many pumpkin spice lattes last year that I got burnt out on it. I'm like, oh, no more. I can't take the pumpkin spice.
I found my limit.
Actually, no. What really screwed it up was that I had a cup of cold brew in the morning, and I had the pumpkin spice creamer, but I forgot to mix it as well. Because when it's cold coffee, you have to really mix it. Because hot coffee, it kind of mixes itself. And all the pumpkin spice settled to the bottom. So that last gulp was just like a shot of pure pumpkin spice. I was like, ugh.
Oh, jeez.
Like nutmeg and cinnamon.
All right. We are live. We have 3 viewers somehow.
Yeah. One of them is me. Just kidding.
And the other one is me. Who's the third person?
It's that guy from last night. It's like, I'm back.
I hunted you down. You guys were cool. Thank you for not killing me.
I'm gonna stream snipe you. But wait, we're not playing anything.
Andrew, oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. All right, let me do the intro. Let me cue up the bumper that we haven't changed since we first uploaded.
Why are my legs so itchy?
No, well, as long as the mic is not picking it up, it's all good.
No, it's not. Oh.
The whole time.
Oh wait, are we recording?
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's been a minute.
We're gonna do this whole goddamn episode. It's just gonna be dead air.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Recording.
3, 2, 1. Sync.
Yeah, I still got it.
Nice catch.
Immediately dropped audio. Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Record blue screen.
It's just you frozen. All right, ready?
My legs always get itchy when it gets cold out. I hate it. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Okay, Grandpa.
I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Is it dry skin?
Yeah, probably. Get a lotion, bro.
I gotta moisturize.
Go to Bath and Body Works. They have great stuff there.
I know, but they didn't have like the little hand creams that are man scented because I wanted some of those. But they only have like the big bottles. I'm like, I don't want to bring like a big bottle of lotion to work. That just seems weird. You know, like,
just have it in your pocket and like, oh, you need some lotion? What? And instead of bringing out the little one that people are expecting, you bring the
Andrew, why do you have a bottle of lotion in your desk? It's not, I can honestly explain.
It's not what you think. All right. Ready?
And we're pulled. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. And welcome to another episode of A Talk of Opportunity. It's a new year, it's a new me, and same old Andrew.
I woke up this morning and I saw my shadow on the ground, which means it's 3 more months of D&D.
Yeah!
At the very least, 3 more months of D&D until we get to the next arc of Rimo the Frost.
Oh God, we're never gonna finish this campaign, are we?
And then we have to do the Gus arc, which is
this is turn into One Piece, okay? We
a
can't
little
have
bit. We're at chapter 1552.
But thank you for coming back to listen to us ramble about our favorite thing in the world, which is Dungeons and Dragons and gaming. This is a podcast all about tabletop, board games, and video games now, including the mainstream stuff like Call of Duty. If you missed out, we've been playing Warzone. We're terrible at it, so please join us. Today we're talking about something that we just experienced through the winter break, which was Downtime.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, cue the music.
We're going to talk about the OGL too.
Orc Warrior. The initiative now goes to you.
Okay.
Jose, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast let's do that again. And we're back. All right, Andrew. So,
Yes.
we just finished a crazy encounter. Saved the town, saved the city, saved the realm. We have a whole lot of gold. We are level 10. We have been non-stop from level 1. And now we're tired.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? What is there in this crazy world of D&D
Well, I mean,
for us to do?
you have all this gold, you have all these resources, and you have all this town to drink in and enjoy. So, if for any campaign where, because I don't know about you, but personally,
Wait! Hold the horse! We broke our sacred tradition.
Okay, so now we must commit. Never mind. I was gonna say a word. I was gonna pull us.
No. Don't say it, man. It's been a bit, so we're a little rusty, just a little bit. But Andrew, before we keep talking about Downtime, what is your favorite drink during Downtime?
Well, my favorite drink during Downtime, which is ironic because it makes me get ready for uptime, is I'm having a cold brew coffee, specifically Collectivo's Black and Tan blend, which is a rather interesting one because it is for the first time that I had. It's not like for the first time ever coming to you. No, for the first time in my life, it is a blend of coffee that is a light and a dark roast all in one, thrown together. They may have just like, hey, what beans we got left? Bag it, send it. But
That's probably exactly what it was.
But it actually works quite well. It has like lighter notes, and then it kind of like dips into like the darker areas, and then it comes back up a bit. And because it's black and tan, it makes me want to get rid of British imperialism. It's really weird.
No. Makes sense.
But yeah, that's what I'm having right now. So
good. I haven't had a chance to buy like new teas, so I'm having an old classic of mine that I love, which has peach oolong with nice rooty notes and some fruity peach highlights. I want to drink it through my nose apparently. It's always so good, so refreshing.
I always find it really weird whenever like you're like, have you ever seen those like sommeliers drinking a wine and they stick their whole like, face in it?
The whole nose into it. Yeah.
I'm like, what's to stop it from like, bloop, just like one little.
And they usually have big noses, so you know.
Yeah.
More surface area for shit to fall out of.
Oh, this wine has a lot of nose in it. Yeah, you're telling me, buddy. I'll be here all week. Be sure to tip your waitress.
And we love viewers.
I'm not here for this 2-bit Rodney Dangerfield shit. I want to talk about D&D.
All right. So we did our traditional thing. Okay, Andrew, continue, please.
Okay.
We have all this gold.
We got all this gold. We got all this pent up energy. And we got like all this art, all these art and artifacts that we're not going to use, that we got to get rid of.
we stash in some cave somewhere for the dragon not to find.
Either that, or we're like cutting the canvas out of these paintings and trying to make some weird Da Vinci wings out of them, and they're not quite working because we're not kobolds, unless you use a monster race kobold. Anyway, I'm getting off track. But so if you have all this stuff that you need to do, you can do downtime activities, and these are in the player's hand. There's some in the player's handbook, and then it goes into even greater depths in the DMG. I feel like the player's handbook is like, oh, here's like the starter downtime activities.
Yeah, and then they thought about it later.
and then the dungeon master's guy's like, okay, here's the actual, downtime activities. But what I think is good for downtime activities is that, I don't know about you, but personally, the idea of having an adventure that's essentially a long weekend is kind of exhausting, and also not really I don't want to say realistic, because there ain't nothing realistic about D&D, but it kind of pulls me out of the experience, you know what I'm saying? So like our Curse of Strahd adventure, where it was essentially like 4 days in game.
Yeah. We did a lot in 4 days.
You guys like leveled up 13 times. Like, okay, that I get it. 5e's of power fantasy, but we can also kind of rein it in a bit. So what downtime activities do is that they allow kind of a greater scope of time to pass between adventures, and it also allows to you to get more utility out of your character sheet.
Yeah, and also get a little bit more invested in the actual setting of the campaign and adventure. Yeah, and I think it's weird because we've never really done downtime. Like, our downtime is literally just like shopping, and it's like 30 minutes of a session, and that's it. And
that's something where downtime activities can be the difference between a town that is essentially, oh, here's this big town with just a shop, and that's all we're visiting, versus an actual town with people and stuff like that. Yeah. And as I was reading it, I was like, man, shit, we should have done this for Rime of the Frost Maiden.
Yep. I should have done that for Waterdeep. Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing.
This would have been there. I mean, there's one in particular before we get to it. I'm like, this was perfect for Waterdeep.
And technically we did one of them right in Waterdeep, but in the book as it was written, it was more of like an actual quest than an actual downtime activity.
Yeah.
It eventually became a downtime activity.
Yeah.
But I find it fascinating because I don't remember reading this, but I never really quite paid attention to it because our way of playing is so fast paced. We just want to get to the next adventure, and get to the next adventure.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, we haven't really done the 4-year campaign that expands on whatever, and the players are level 20 or whatever, or what forth. They're not a massive interconnected storyline for our games, but by the same token, a lot of these things are really fun to kind of just do in between games, real games, not in the game.
Well, I think when you're doing this, I think because as the DM, you have carte blanche on, hey, when are we going to get to the next story beat? I mean, a lot of these quests, they will have little breadcrumb trails for you to sprinkle for your players and whatnot. But as a DM, you can totally say hey, we're going to have some downtime. You're going to have X amount of time before something happens or what have you. Or if anything, just say, hey, we're going to have downtime for a while, and don't say anything. Just let whatever time happens pass. So that way your players can actually do. Oh, hey.
Sorry, it was messing with me on the screen.
Oh my God, I was talking to Jose's evil brother Esage this entire time.
For those on the podcast, I just flipped my webcam.
You can tell he's evil because he doesn't have a beard.
No. Or is it vice versa?
No. The beard's on top of your head. Anyways, but fuck, what was I gonna say? But no, I mean, it could be something where say the quest where you guys brought back the iron ores for the black iron blades and Bryn Shander. That would easily could have been a time where it'd be okay, we're gonna have some downtime. So whatever you guys want to do, here are your options, and you can do them. That way you also don't feel like like, oh, I'm holding the group back because I want to go do something that my character would do, and everyone's like chomping at the bit to go on the next adventure. You
Yeah,
know,
and to my but also something that could help with that, which to my understanding is that there's two ways to tackle it: is either like in game spending like half a session or so, like talking about that per player, or doing it in between sessions.
we could, yeah, but
Because like so then what happens is like then the beginning of the next session it becomes a bit of a narration for each one of them. So instead of spending an hour and a half, 2 hours between each between all the players, it's like a 30-minute like here's what happened while we were gone. This many days have passed, you know, and then this is what you and you have done. And that way in the next session, then it's an actual like adventure moving forward type thing.
Oh, okay. So it'd be something like where if you end a session in a town, be like, okay, we're gonna have some downtime. Does anybody want to do any downtime activities?
Right.
And it'd be like, oh yeah, I want to go carousing. All right, well, roll me a D100, see what happens. You know.
Right.
So,
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it becomes a bit more about a narration thing instead of like making full sessions on like what did he do? Did he go drinking?
Yeah.
Okay, let's role play all of that. Unless that's what people are into. I mean, that's
well,
fine too.
I mean, a lot of these once we really get into it, a lot of these are just like, oh, 20 days have passed, and during that time, like blah blah blah, got jailed for like roughhousing in a bar, and this person prayed in the temple.
I think almost all. It's a lot of like spreadsheet stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But this is what we're doing. Yeah.
But I mean, it's little things like that can make a huge difference between a town that's literally just a shop and an inn. You know, despite the fact that it takes up this whole map, you know, let's face it, Bryn Shanner's a shop and an inn right now.
Yep.
You know, whereas like Lonelywood, like you guys are invested in it because you had met people in the town, you had talked to people in the town, you know, so it's like it's a smaller location, but it's bigger for you guys.
It also feels bigger too.
Yeah, exactly, because you are invested into it. And so yeah, this is definitely something, if I could do anything, I would go back in time and do this for Rime of the Frost Maiden, and I really should have. So maybe the next campaign that I DM in 7 years.
The WebDM gave me an idea. I think it was WebDM, or no, it wasn't WebDM. It was somebody else that I was listening to. They gave me a good idea for Radiant Citadel, not Radiant Citadel, Witchlight.
Oh, okay.
So but we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Well, I'm about to say don't spoil it, because if it's a good idea, I want to be part of the experience.
No, but you're the one I talked to about my good ideas.
Okay, fine then. I guess you can bounce it off me, and then I'll
listen.
I'll try my best to forget.
By the time we play Witchlight, it will be D&D 6th edition, and then it'll be 4 years from now.
No.
I need to stop making those jokes, man.
It'll be D&D 6th edition, and Pathfinder will have been sued out of existence. We'll talk about that part later. But anyway, so these downtime activities, you can find them on page 187 in the PHB and 128 to 131 in the DMG. so let's get.
You're prepared.
Yeah, I am prepared. I took notes. You can tell I'm actually like rested because I'm putting effort into this because I care. Okay. So really the downtime activities for like I said, the downtime activities for the player's handbook are pretty basic. They're essentially only things only you can do, like as the agency within your character sheet. Like this is not dealing with anything like real estate or anything like that, or any outside factions, what have you. It's always something your character can do, you know, within your own body. So the first one is crafting. Pretty simple. If you have proficiencies with crafting tools like woodworking or smithing or what have you, you can use your downtime to craft mundane items.
I like how it's broken down into like one day you make a 5 gold pieces worth of progress.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty simple to understand. Like what was the example that they gave?
It was like
a piece of armor, like a 1500 piece of armor. So 1500 divided by 5, whatever that is, that's how many days it takes for you to craft it.
Yep. But the thing about it is too is that you also have to have the resources for it. You can't be like forging in the middle of a forest or something like that,
right?
Or woodworking. You know,
so I'll take you almost a whole year.
But here's the trick: if you get more people in on it, everybody that contributes does 5 gold per day worth of work. So if you have 3 people working on that 1,500 gold suit, then it's going to be 33, or sorry, it's going to be 100 days as opposed to 300 days to make that that plate armor. Um, but another good thing too, and this is something that we also really don't talk about too, and probably something from now on I'm going to start enacting, is that while you're doing this, your crafting abilities give you enough money to where you don't have to worry about lifestyle expenses, because lifestyle expenses was kind of something we just kind of hand waved, where it was like, a gold per day for modest, like 3 gold for
but and we hand wave it because of the same reason. Like right now, how much time you say we spent on so far in the Great White North? Like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's bucket change, honestly.
I know.
But if you do like the lives the stuff like this, that some things take 350 days, years, and whatever, then it starts making more sense to be like, okay, so it's been this long, you guys have to not just only pay for the resources for this, but also your lifestyle expenses, etc., etc. Which brings also back to the fact that like we move really fast through all these adventures.
Yeah.
But if you think about like back in the olden days of medieval times, things just were not nearly that fast. Like shit, like a war for armies to meet in the middle of a field to fight will take months, months of preparation, training, gathering. Just getting the news around that there was a war will take years.
Yep. I mean,
and we're so like, oh no, next thing. And I'm not saying that you have to play all 350 days. It's just like bringing that aspect back into the game makes it things like, oh wow, okay, it hasn't been a week. I've been with these guys together for a year now.
Okay, so I want you to imagine something. Do you remember when we were back at the Goliath cave system?
Yeah.
And Barry wanted the blacksmith to make her a great axe or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, can you imagine if I said, all right, this great axe is going to cost however many gold, so it's going to take X amount of days. If you want to, you can help. And be like, okay, if Barry's going to help, it's going to take like, I don't know, let's say like 10 days. It'll take 10 days. So during these 10 days, what is everyone else doing? And then that way we can have a more natural way of like Swift asking around, like, hey, what do you know about Yaminar talk and stuff like that? And then we can actually have that like building a relationship between the group and the chief. It could be like a more natural thing, like
I think also one thing that holds me back a little bit when it comes to that kind of stuff is that my brain wants to go
now.
Okay, day 1, everybody roll for this. Day 2, everybody roll for night. Oh, and then do the whole process of each day passing by. But I feel with downtime activities like these,
it's one roll.
It's as well. No, I think it's just as easy as whatever the roles are needed for whatever it is that Beery is doing, plus whatever the person is doing. Like you don't have to be like, okay, 10 days have passed. This has what's been going on through all those 10 days.
Well, no, it's
because
not.
It's downtime activities.
It's not even
downtime.
That. Some of these are just like, okay, I'm going to be doing this for X amount of time. And that's it. There's no role. So like, so Barry's going to be help forging this weapon for the next 10 days. That's her. There's no role involved. Mittens wants to go carousing amongst the Goliaths. Okay, man, that's on you. Roll me a D100, and that's one roll. And then so some people might be able to make a roll, but then there's some that's just like, I'm just going to do it, and then you can kind of like take a 20 on it, So so there are more active downtimes, and there's some more what's the word I'm looking for?
Passive.
Yeah, exactly. More passive downtime. So, like,
more passive than active.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree. I think it's just part of my brain. Like if I were you in your shoes, my brain would want to run for weather every single one of those temples. I'm like, no, you don't. I don't need to do that. Like, rations. No, you're in the cave with all these people. You're gonna eat with them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that would be something where like that could be a part of maintaining a modest lifestyle. Is that while you guys are out and about, like naturally, like Swift's gonna go out hunting because they're a hunter,
right?
Or something like that, or like the Goliaths, they have mountain yaks, so there's actually gonna be food. So and it's just little things like that, and it kind of enriches the story. And honestly, it could have taken 20 minutes of time.
Yep, that's the thing. Yep.
Yeah.
But for some reason, me as a DM, it doesn't get to my fucking skull that I don't have to make it grueling. It can just be a narrative experience.
Yeah, or not even like grueling, but it doesn't have to be like heart pounding action all the time. Like, we're not making we're not making Mission Impossible here. We can can have like you can have your like action dungeon crawling bits, but you can also have like short breaths of time where like, okay, hey, 10 days have passed and in this 10 days this happened.
Yeah. And I think even under that, the importance, because we've had like quote unquote downtime, but it's more like us just kind of role playing. Well, yeah, but like us just role playing like moments in camping or whatever, which is fine. It develops our internal group relationships. But I feel like this tool is excellent for not just doing the internal group relationship, but each one of those characters in a bigger scale of like the town or the city or the region that we're in.
And I also feel like this would have been a lot better because it feels like, and I don't know if it's just this campaign or all the previous ones, but like the ones that I DM'd, I can tell it's like if there is not a quest in the town, we're going to that town, getting resources, and bouncing right back out. Where it's like, whereas like here now, going to a town would feel like a relief, or at least like an experience in of itself, especially when we get to like the more interesting downtime activities where you might accidentally spurn somebody. You're like, oh shit, we definitely can't go to Targos.
But and also like I think part of me also, it comes into play when we have to save the world, right?
Yeah.
And my brain is like, oh, we have to save it by next Sunday. Like, nobody said anything about saving it by next Sunday. It's, you know what I mean? Like, saving the world could take a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Like, it's just, but in my brain, it's like, holy shit, we're about to die. But no, not quite, not really.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, because like we impose these time limits on ourselves.
Yep.
Where it's like in Rime of the Frost Maiden, Icewind Dale has been like pitched into this eternal winter for years now, and it's only now that heroes are going to come and save it. So it's like, what's a couple more months against the eternal winter that hasn't already happened before? Or like in Curse of Strahd, like that dude has been ruling over this place for literally hundreds of years. You can take like a year off to make a goal, like a set of armor.
Or in Avernus, there's literally there's time dilation in Avernus. It doesn't matter how long you think.
What is time in hell?
Yeah, exactly. I think out of all the adventures we played, I think Tomb of the Nine Gods was kind of like the one that was the most time pressure, because it was kind of like every people were actually dying.
Yeah.
But like I think if you guys didn't complete it in time, the only repercussion you would have seen for that was like the lady who gave you the original quest was dead, but she still left the rewards behind. So like it wasn't even like you weren't attached to her. I don't even remember her name. You know what I mean?
but like another thing too is that like downtime activities, because of the breadth of time between things that will happen, the more active parts of the campaign, it also requires not so much of a I'm sorry, I burped there. Not so much of a suspension and disbelief, to where like, oh, it just so happens as soon as we got to this town, someone's like, oh, help us,
right,
blah 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 is happening. No, it would make much more sense that like, hey, we've been in this town for like a fortnight, and we've been hearing rumors that, oh, hey, there's a tribe of mad people or some crap out there. Okay, well, let me wrap up my business here, and we'll go take care of it.
Yeah, instead of the NPC waiting for you by the entrance with a little exclamation point above his head.
Exactly. It just feels like a much more natural story. And like I said, you don't have to get granular with it. Be like, oh, you've had a romance and blah blah blah. What's her name or their name or yada yada. No, just be like, okay, hey, this happened. Roll on the table. Okay, 10 days passed. This shit happened. All right.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
So,
I agree, but let's talk about those specifics, adventures. Activities that we have in the book.
Yeah, sorry. I know we kind of got off track there.
I think it's a great talk, because like it made me realize a lot of things that I didn't, like another tool set in my belt.
And going forward, I'm definitely going to be doing downtime activities. Just be like, oh, hey, you guys did the starter quest. All right, we're gonna have a little bit of downtime. Do whatever you guys want to do. Blah blah blah. rolling.
Yeah, and like dictate. I think importantly is having for the players is having those like, okay, we're gonna have there's no rush for the next bit. We're gonna have some downtime activity. What do you guys want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Here's option A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. You know?
Yeah. Or just be like, hey, you guys are going to be going into a town. What do you guys want to do? And someone's like, hey, I just want to kind of go carousing, just kind of just shake off that dungeon we were just in. All right, fine, roll on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Take
off the dried blood in my skin.
Yeah, I just got out of a ooze. I would kind of like to not get back into the shit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because no, you're right. Okay, we can talk about that forever. But let's talk about those specific options that we have for the players.
All right.
And the first one, like you said earlier, is crafting. We kind of talked about that a little bit. It's very simple, just kind of like 5 gold per day. More people faster that you craft the thing.
And crafting would be more something that's like you're going to use. You don't have the intention of selling it. It's going to be like, hey, I need a battle axe. Well, I also have proficiency with smithing tools, so I'm not going to. Yep. I'm not going to waste the money. I could just do it. All right.
Which is funny because like there's been plenty of times that we've been like, oh, I wish I could make an axe or I could make like a whatever tool right now. Mm-hmm. And it's like we could have just stayed in that town for a couple extra days or whoever had the proficiency could have probably. And this actually gives those proficiencies something to do because there's so many times that you have blacksmith tool or crafting and we never use it.
Because let's be perfectly honest, the way that we play right now, tool proficiencies are fluff.
We just pay for it. We're just like, here you go, just buy the thing.
Exactly. But then another thing too is that these downtime okay, well, I'm gonna say this one last tidbit and then we're gonna get back to the books. But another thing too is that these downtime activities, this is also a more natural way to spend the stupid amount of
money. Yep. I wanted to say that too because like I was reading through it and I'm like, which one of them specifically? But it made me think because I was like, okay, so if I wanted a modest lifestyle, that's 1 gold per day. That's 365. That barely makes a dent into like a yearly, salary for me at least.
And let's be honest, is Octavio going to be living a modest lifestyle?
No, he's gonna be on the wealthy side of that.
He's gonna be on the aristocratic, like having his feet oiled and shit like that.
Listen, he learned a couple things or two. Okay, he's gonna be down one step to wealthy.
I mean, but no, that's the thing. That's what you could have done. Just be like, oh hey, we gotta get rid of this dragon gold. Let's go to Targos and just vacation there.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. and then when the dragon shows up, we'll just leave.
We're just gonna spend a year in the hot springs of Targos or some shit, And then boom, there's your beach episode.
There you go.
The beach episode that everyone's been wanting.
All right, all the crafting we have practicing a profession for tool proficiencies, Andrew.
Okay, so what this can do is that all this essentially allows you to do is that you don't gain anything from it, but you also don't lose anything from it. You can use your profession and you don't have to pay for the cost of living while you're in town. That's pretty much it.
You're doing your job. You're just working.
Yeah,
it's a regular 9 to 5.
But the thing about it is that depending on the proficiencies, like if you have proficiencies like performance, you can live a much more wealthier lifestyle. But here's the trick: you gain enough to live a wealthy lifestyle. That does not mean you have to. You can just pocket the rest.
Yep. Exactly.
So that extra 3 gold, ching, right in your pocket. I'm gonna stay in my 1-room apartment.
I'm saving to get out of this town.
It just be like Keanu, like, why do you live like this? Like you're a Hollywood star. Because I don't need to.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just so I mean that's it. Yeah, practicing a profession. That's pretty much it.
It's pretty simple. I think the ones in the player's handbook are just very straightforward.
Yeah.
Recuperating. 3 days of rest allows you to take advantage of saving throws against a poison disease that you've been affected by.
So after 3 days, you have to make a DC 15 Constitution save, and then you can regain hit points from an effect that would stop you from regaining hit points. Which I tried to look and I couldn't find anything because personally, well, I don't know. I feel like that kind of has to be like DM's discretion because I know there are effects that stop you from healing, but it also says you regain hit points after a long rest. So I'm like, which ones would that be? But then perhaps you are also suffering from like some pretty severe poison because you ran into an assassin earlier. All right, guys, I've got the shakes. I'm gonna have to just chill.
I'm gonna have to sweat. I'm gonna have to sweat this one out.
Yeah, put on some Pavarotti, lock me in a room, and you guys go drinking for the next 3 days while I go hork my guts up. And then 3 days, you walk out and you're clean. So
there you go. Researching. I think you quickly research. I mean, mention this one, but
this one, I feel like would probably be the most useful from the player's perspective. So researching, you will roll an investigation check to find clues on the quest that you're currently on or something pertaining to like the world at large. And then after or if you want to, you instead of an investigation roll, you can also roll a persuasion check to get someone's help too.
Well, I mean, it's so reading the book real quick. It's not carved in stone. You can just can be whatever the DM wants it to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
I didn't.
It's not just those two.
Oh yeah, I know. But those are the two that are But
yeah.
The only thing about it is that while you're researching, it's going to be one gold per day for just the resources that you're going to be spending.
Plus, no, 1 gold.
Well, plus your lifestyle expenses. So.
Oh no, 2 golds.
It might be 5 gold for some of you.
Fair, okay, fair. Like, okay, if you're early in the campaign when you don't have that much gold, it might take.
And this was the one where I'm like, fuck, why didn't we use this?
Because that's perfect. That's perfect when you're like a DM and you just want to give that information out to the player because they're just missing it and there's no like interesting way to make it available to them. Boom! The tool was right there the whole time, Andrew. Yeah. We didn't even look at it. And we call ourselves dungeon masters.
I mean, this could have prevented from us having the wizard that knows everything, like literally the ball of knowledge that you guys got.
The Google ball.
Anyways, and then the next one is training, and this is pretty pretty straightforward. You spend a gold a day for the next 250 days under the tutelage of a trainer, and you can learn a new tool proficiency or language. No skills, just tools and languages.
Will you let a player that knows that language teach another player?
Absolutely, but you have to spend. But that 250 gold has to go. You can't use that 250 gold and give it to the other player. That 250 gold is a loss because it has to be.
Yeah, it's like resources, books, pens, whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, chalkboard.
It's your tuition.
Chalkboard.
It's always gonna be a loss.
that special kind of chalk that only writes Sylvan, like that weird.
Yeah.
Because they had to have like the oil chalk. Yeah, no. So yeah, I was told like what's it? If you know Infernal and somebody else doesn't, and like, hey, we're gonna be going into Avernus. So
oh my god, this gives me an idea to make like a very studious like wizard or some sort of like smarty pants, and like he's just trying to teach the group, and he puts like little posters for like Inferno classes on Wednesdays type thing, like a schedule for the group.
It's like the Infernal alphabet versus the normal alphabet, and it's like A, and then like some glyph that like breaks your mind when you look at it too long.
A, B, C, A. No. You said it wrong. You have to get it from the evil within.
Why is J a swirling vortex? Don't look at it too long, because then it'll look right back at you.
Yeah. There's a looming shadow above, like just ever so slowly creeping.
We'll work up to Infernal.
And it's like the dense barbarian just doesn't get it.
It hurts my mind. Just like gripping the desk so hard, like the wood's cracking.
Stop staring at it.
Just give him the dunce cap and let him sit in the corner, please. and this is how we wrap the sanity score into trading.
There you go.
Oh gosh. All right, so that handles the downtime activities in the player's handbook. So now, if we want to get into the real good shit, we're gonna have to go to the DMG. Insert a fluttering pages sound effect here.
Yeah. Got it.
That's not gonna happen. Anyways,
No.
so on page 127, we get some more. Page 127 of the Dungeon Master's Guide, we get some more expanded downtime activities. Now, this is going to be the real stuff. This is going to be the stuff that's going to help make a town stand out and make you care for it when it inevitably burns down from the consequences of your actions. So, so the first one's also kind of the biggest one. It's like right out the gate. We're just gonna get the good stuff out of the way, and that's building a stronghold.
A fucking stronghold, dude.
Now, what I really like about it is that it's like, whoa, hey, hold on there, Eager McBeaver. You can't just build a stronghold. You gotta buy the land first.
Yeah. I read that too because I was reading. I was like, okay, that makes more sense. But okay, so what if the stronghold? And this has just occurred to me. So. All right, to expand on what we were just saying.
Welcome to the exciting world of real estate.
Yeah, you have to literally find real estate. You have to it can either be awarded to you because of a big quest, or you can buy it or whatever. There's some land that you just can't even buy.
Nope.
However, I was thinking, what if your stronghold is it's for a bunch of evil characters?
Well,
you're not gonna go through illegal loops of doing it. You just fucking take it.
Well, then that's what you would have to do. So then what you have to do is that you have to find someone. So you have your lawful evil to chaotic evil characters. Get that assassin that has been chomping at the bit to impersonate somebody. Be like, hey, look, I need you to steal this dude's face. and so the assassin assassinates the guy that takes care of the deeds and whatnot. Be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you the friend discount where it's like a gold, and then you have to bluff your way through it, and boom,
right? It's a goal for tax reasons.
Yeah, tax. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, because it's like it's like when someone buys the rights to something, it legally has to be at least $1.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Like, oh hey, give me a gold, and then he just gives it right back to you once you're outside of the office. But okay, so that's one way of doing it. But also, who's to say the king knows what's good and evil? There. Right. How many evil people have been rewarded by the government? All of them.
All of them.
but no, it could be something like, yeah, you're evil, but the king's like, hey, the enemy of my enemy is a friend, right? And their advisor's like, no, my lord, that's actually terrible. Anyways, here's this big parcel of land. And then boom, you got yourself a land deed. Or you can just buy one. I mean, it doesn't, it says they, at the very, no, what's it? It's 100 gold to 1,000 gold for a small estate, or 5,000 and up for a large estate. At the end of an adventure, you guys are going to be flush with cash. So,
well, I was looking at some of the stuff, 500,000. I think between 2 characters by the end of Avernus, that was plenty. You had more than enough of that. And that's the most expensive one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a large castle.
And that's not get rid of all of your liquid assets, all of your solid assets, and then boom, we got enough to build a mansion. So
also now we know that Oren paid $5,000 for his bookstore,
and you would
5,000 gold pieces,
and you would understand why he was so fucking upset that it caught on fire, because 5,000 gold at level 3 is a lot of money. 5,000 gold at level 13 is different, but it's also
it was a small investment from his uncle.
But this also kind of justifies how he was able to move shop and go to Icewind Dale because I'm flush with cash. What fuck it.
Yep, exactly.
So
also his insurance didn't want to pay for it. So
yeah, exactly. Well,
the big fire of Baldur's Gate. If we ever have to go back to Baldur's Gate, we have to make sure to emphasize the fact that half of the city is burnt down.
The Great Fire of It's like the Great Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
The insurance defaulted on a lot of the policies because it was an act of God.
Yeah. There's gonna be a museum, and part of it is gonna be the fireplace with the capes inside of it. This is what when I said investigators believe this is what started the fire.
Yeah, this was ground zero for the great Baldur's Gate fire.
Baldur's Gate fire.
The Baldur's Gate blaze.
God, I forgot about that.
Anybody that wears robes gets persecuted. You gotta start fire.
Yeah. Robes are banned. Baldur's Gate.
Couldn't help but notice you're wearing robes there. No, I'm just a wizard. No, please, no.
It's the only armor I can wear.
Okay, so all right, so back to building a stronghold. So not only do you get this stronghold, okay, it says stronghold, quote unquote, but a lot of these are businesses.
Yeah.
And some of these are actual strongholds, like fortresses and whatnot. So the beautiful thing about this is that this was one of the many downtime activities that plays into other downtime activities. So you could potentially build like a is there one for an inn? Oh, okay, you can build like a trading post or something like that, and then have somebody help run that business for the trading post, which is another downtime activity, and then boom, that runs into it.
Yeah.
So seriously, you can't build an inn?
Well, Guildhall, town, or city. I mean, that's.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll say that's fine.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah,
same price as a trading post.
But the thing about it is that you have to have the money up front. So the like, say you are building an abbey, that's 50,000 gold. You can't, work that down in increments. No, you need the cash up front because these guys are union workers. And,
also, it's better for you in the long run because if they buy all the resources right away, there's no chance that it will be more expensive in a year.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Inflation.
Yeah, exactly. So just wait for the bubble to pop and then put that money down. But so there's the construction cost, which is up front, and there's the construction time, which obviously is going to be over time. A lot of these are like around like 100 days or so, give or take. Every day that you are not present for the construction, it adds 3 days on top of that. So
interesting.
Yeah, so the 400 days, that's if you are there. If you are out fucking around in like a dungeon fighting skeletons or some crap like that, then that's an extra 3, 6, 9, 12 days, however you're gone for. Which I feel like adds a lot more weight to traveling. Be like, okay, how far away is this? Like, can I be there and back within a day? Because I have to overwatch these guys, because if not, this dude's gonna fall off a scaffolding, and then I have to pay for that. So there's I feel like this would be a downtime activity where it's like not like the end of a campaign, but something where it's like you're a much higher level character and be like, okay, I'm just going to like establish myself into this setting now. Like I'm a part of it.
Right. Which, I mean, to be fair, for the prices, yes. Mm-hmm. Right. This is more of like, oh, you kill the mid-level boss, and then it's building up to the actual big baddie. Then you start with like the Guildhall or the trading post. By the time you're done with the big daddy, the big baddie. That's when you start hitting some of the noble states and like the castles and all that crazy stuff.
And I feel like this is something that would probably do a lot better in a homebrew campaign where the DM has a lot more say into like the actions of the world and whatnot. But also on top of that, this could be something that like you could have done, like what we did at like if you had a moment like what we did where like, hey, we're going to take like a month and a half long break. Okay, I'm going to use this time to build a stronghold. Okay, so when we come back, it will be 400 days since the last events of the previous session. This is what has happened in that 400 days. Aside from you building a stronghold, naturally the world's going to keep spinning around.
Right.
You know, so this isn't the most time consuming one. There's one that's actually much more time consuming. I did the math on it. But this is definitely one that's like, okay, we're going to do a big time skip. So this could also justify something like, hey, if you don't want to play your characters or something, maybe they retired or some crap, you can pick something.
Well, also, I think this is excellent for somebody like Howard, who like the last like 4 sessions before the year was over, he wasn't able to play with us.
Yeah.
Maybe we come back and he has a stronghold. Like, so this is what you were doing.
It's just a big turtle shell.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, exactly. He could have been spending his time. This is perfect. Be like, hey, my character has gone through a lot of trauma in this campaign, which just seems to be a weird through line in rhyme. Just be like, hey, my character went through some pretty traumatic stuff. I'm not going to be here next session because work or what have you. Can my character just do downtime and be like, okay, yeah, sure. Do you want to do active downtime, or you just living. Like you're just walking around town. Be like, oh, okay, well, I want to, go carousing. Okay, all right. Well, when you come back, we'll roll a D100 and we'll figure out what you did. So,
excellent. We should probably use that a lot more than what we do.
I'm gonna make a ruling for myself that if I'm not present for a session and like I'm a player, that's what I'm doing. I'm around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna apply a lot of this to Witch Life for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ding dong ditching people, leaving flaming bags of poop and shit. Like,
Is he flinging poop again?
God damn it! That champion fighter for some reason keeps leaving flaming bags of poop. All right.
So Carousing. You said this a couple of times.
Because it's the most entertaining one. This is the one.
It is.
this is the one that really livens out the town. So what carousing is that you're just like, hey, I'm just gonna live it up. Like I'm not gonna just eat and go to bed and maybe read a book. No, that's for nerds. I'm gonna do the Vegas thing and just just go buck wild. And then it's like okay. Roll a D100, and it's a D100 plus something else. Yeah, D100 plus your level.
All right, Andrew, you're level 10. Roll me a D100.
All right, let me see what I get. Oh, we got a copyright strike. That's what we got. I got a 96.
96. Oh, you make a small fortune gambling. You recuperate all of your lifestyle expenses for the time spent carousing and gain 46, roll me 46s, times 10 gold pieces. Your carousing becomes the stuff of local legends.
See, so while I was in town drinking it up and whoring and whatnot, I became a local legend from. All right, 46. All right, I got 3, 7, 10, 11, 16.
So 160 gold.
See, that's
on top of on top of what you would have spent on your lifestyle.
See, that's 160 gold more than what we got. So,
all right, I get to roll now.
Okay,
I want to do it through Google. What level am I?
We'll go. Let's say level 5.
Damn it, Google! Just roll the thing. Roll. I got 57.
All right. You earn modest winnings from gambling and recuperate your lifestyle expenses for the time spent carousing. All right.
Not bad.
Yeah, just like, all right, cool.
You want to read all of them or no? You want them to be
No. Okay, so 40 through 91 is gambling. And you can either recoup your losses and just come out even. You can gain a little bit, or you can do what I just did and break the bank.
31 through 40.
31 through 40 is that you actually started a romance with somebody. Ooh, tantalizing. And then from there, you have to roll a d20, and depending on that, the romance could either end badly, end amicably. Or you could just be attached to somebody now.
Let's see what I get.
Okay.
$15.
You got a 15?
Yeah.
Guess what? You have a significant other in the campaign now. It says,
yay!
It says on a blank, the romance is ongoing. You determine the identity of the love interest subject to DM's approval. If the romance ends badly, you might gain a new flaw. If it ends well and is ongoing, your new love interest might represent a new bond.
Aw, that's so sweet.
See, ain't that cool? But I like, it's just like.
But then you go adventure and that person stays in town because they're not adventurers, and then you hear that the dragon, because you spend all the money from the dragon's cohort there, is attacking the town. You're gonna rush your team to go try to save your loved one.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, this brings stakes into the game because oh no, it's not now. It's not just an inn. Like, my girlfriend's there.
Rosina's there. I gotta go save her. Or if that ended up badly, you're like, oh fuck, I don't need to go there. And then everybody else is just like, no, we have to save the town. Yeah, but
do we? I'm pretty.
Or you avoid the town because your bad romance is in that town, and you just don't want to go there.
just be like the white dragon comes like, oh, it's gonna be one icy bitch versus another. Okay.
Let them fight.
Yeah, I say this is a pretty even match. But no, I mean, but like I said, something like that, it gives you hooks into the game that are much more natural.
21 through 30.
21 through 30 is you make an enemy. It could be a person, a business, or an organization. It's up to you, or it's up to the DM, I believe. But you have to decide how you offended them. So, what did you do? We left you alone for like 2 fucking days. What did you do?
Yeah, I can't talk to the Let 'em Spin anymore.
You peed in the soup.
Why?
Because I also rolled high on my other carousing. I did several days of carousing. I was bored. There's nothing to do in this 2-bit town. Do you know where it came from?
Yeah. All right, 11 to 20.
11 through 20 is what I feel like would actually happen to most of us. And that is, you regain consciousness in a strange place with no memory of how you got there, and you've been robbed of 3d6 times 5 gold. This includes something that I feel like is missing from a lot of towns, and that there's a bad part of town too.
Yeah,
you know, like the town isn't just all like bright and happy. Like, oh no, there's a part of town that we avoid. Like, we do not go down Oak Street. For some reason, even though it's medieval, like you hear cop sirens and gunshots when you go down that part of town.
You lock your horses, look.
the little studs in the collars, like they just you put the boot on the hooves.
And then the last one, or the lowest one.
You are jailed for 1d4 days at the end of downtime period on charges of disorderly conduct and disturbing the peace. You can pay a fine of 10 gold to avoid jail time, or you can try to resist arrest.
Oh damn! So this is essentially after, like, let's say, like, session starts, and it starts with you being jailed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start the session. We gotta pay someone's bail. Wow, Mittens, what did you do?
I figured this would have been Mittens, like, throughout the whole adventure.
Yeah, 1 through 10 is definitely Mittens. 11 through 20 is probably gonna be like Octavio. I would imagine 41 through 80 is like Swift, where it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then Gar's probably gonna be 91 and higher, and then Beery's obviously gonna be 31 through 40.
Of course, yeah. I feel like Gar just comes back with like a bunch of like gold and chains.
Yeah, he has gems studded on it. He comes back looking like fucking King Koopa.
Yeah. We're just staring at like, what? Why? Where do you come from?
Gar, what do you got there? A milkshake?
A milkshake. All right, the next one: crafting magical items.
Crafting magical items. Now, this is a much more mechanical one, and this is the biggest time sink. So, if you're crafting a magical item, one, you have to have proficiencies with whatever you're crafting. So if it's like you're saying you're making a wand of something, you have to have woodworking proficiencies. Then on top of that, you have to be a certain level for whatever the rarity of the item is. The lowest level you can be is 3rd, and then depending on the level, that level requirement gets higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, 3rd, 6, 11, 17.
You have to have the money to put in, and I think you're going to be doing it's 25 gold per day of work. So, which you're like, oh, 25 gold, that's not that much. But to make a legendary item, it's 500,000 gold, which I did the math. You have to be, first of all, you have to be level 17 to make a legendary item. If you are working around the clock every day, 365, to make one person to make a legendary item, it's going to be just a little over 57 years.
Which makes sense. It's a life's work.
Exactly. If you're playing as a human, First of all, if you're like an Aarakocra, I'm sorry, you're just gonna die before before
it's
like,
just children's problem to deal with.
Exactly, but that would be something like, no, my grandchildren helped build this, so it's like a legendary.
Yeah.
But like if you're playing as like a humanoid or sorry, like a human or something like that, something that's not a dwarf, like a tiefling or something like that.
Yeah.
Like this would be your life's work. Like I have spent my life toiling away to make like an Avengers or like a Holy Avenger or something like that, in the hopes that like my grandchildren can wield it and dispel the evil in the realms or some crap like that. But then on top of that, you have to have, if there's any spellcasting abilities, you have to be able. Sorry. If the magic items replicates the effects of a spell, you have to have that spellcasting ability. So if you're making a wand of magic missile, you have to be able to cast magic missile. Exactly. Right. So that way you can kind of pour it into the item. To me,
which makes sense.
To me, this is probably the coolest downtime activity.
No, yeah, it is. like, because first of all, like, how do you introduce magic items into a game? It's always awkward and clunky, right? Unless it's a reward for a quest.
Yeah, exactly. And personally, I've always had like the kind of like, what's it, like the lore in the back of my head that magic items were made from an empire long, long ago, and no one knows how to recreate them. That's why that's why they stand out. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But now you can have the ability to bring that.
Yeah. And then you're just a little bit more attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. So like oh hey, I found this horn of blasting in a cave. Okay, cool, whatever. No, I made this horn of blasting. I have put like my blood, sweat, and tears into it. I've had my children's children work on this thing. Like this is like the world over will remember me for this artifact, and
it only has 3 charges.
But put that in the never gonna use pile except for the final boss, and then even then we don't use it. but no, I just think this would be. This is the coolest one, but I also find the hardest to really get the full capabilities of this. Like unless.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like to do a legendary one. Like I said, 57 years for one person to do it. Obviously, if you have like an entire party pouring into it, like if you have like 5 people, that's like.
Yeah, I'll do the math.
Let's say 57 divided by 5.
Oh, wait. So it's 25 per person, right? And our party is 5.
Yeah.
So that's the 100. 125?
Yeah, 125.
I can math. That is 4,000 days.
All right, so then divide by 365.
That's 10 years.
Okay, so even if you have
11 years, 10.9.
So even if you have a full party of adventurers working around the clock, this is without taking days off. If you have a full party of adventurers working around the clock, that's still a decade of time, which I know for like elves and dwarves, that's really not a whole lot of time. But I mean, like, how many empires can rise and fall within a decade? How many wars and how many sovereigns can be overthrown in a decade? Like we're talking about if you're toiling away making this legendary artifact, the whole world outside of you can change as you know it.
Yep. I think it's also it gives more perspective to the items that you're receiving when you introduce it in a way like this. And this is what my idea for scratch that, not my idea. The idea I heard about how to introduce magical items in a fun way that is also downtime. Is through auction.
Yeah.
And then you can add, so like then it's not just like, oh, here is the shop that has all the magical items for some reason. Now it's like, oh, here is the wand of magic missile crafted by yada yada. Took him this many years. Okay, who's gonna start betting? And then not only the characters, but there's rich NPCs there who are also want those items, and then it can start fluctuating.
Well, not only
be a really fun mini game.
Well, not only that, but this also yes, you can, that and that could be something in and of itself where like, oh, like well, the auction is obviously underground because we're not going to advertise that we're selling magic items because we don't want any bum off the street.
How's the security? You know, like are people trying to steal it as you're trying to bet for it? You know, like there's a lot of interesting things that could happen in there.
Like how underground is it? Do I have to get into the Thieves Guild? How much money is that? Is this a good scenario for a heist?
Yeah, exactly.
Robert. But also this one, crafting magic items, this also plays into a different downtime where you can sell magic items. So then you can like, hey, you can have like two people crafting, like just churning out wands of magic missile, and then you can have somebody, if they have like a good persuasion roll or something, you can have them like flipping it for like twice the profit, and then boom, they're who needs a dragon's horde? We're sitting on one ourselves, you know. So,
we can make our own.
Yeah, exactly.
Break the economy.
Yeah, fuck the economy. But you know, this is something where it's like, oh hey, cool, I found another wand. Whereas opposed to like, I can make one. Okay, like Rime of the Frost Maiden. You guys came across that morning, the Star of the Morning thing in the cabin. You have the schematics for it. Now you just have to find somebody that knows how to make it, which you do. You have Copper Navardocker. He knows how to make it. How long is it going to take? Well, this is how long it's going to take now. You know, like so one of you has to be level blah blah blah, and then you have to spend this much gold. Boom.
It also adds a little bit more of strategy for the players as well, because then at this point they can think of like, oh, what magic items it would be essential for us to have right now, and instead of like having the DM be like, hey DM, can you give us this, and have the DM with like this convoluted quest to do it, we can be like, hey, we're gonna try to create this, and then it just turns into a couple of like dice rolls, and then obviously time passes.
Yeah, exactly. And this would definitely be some as a. Oh shit! I just knocked my mic over. I'm sorry. I got so excited about this. I got so excited about the idea of making a magic item. No, but no, like as a DM, this would be something that I'm like, oh, you guys are gonna make a magic item. Okay, here's the treasure. Like, here's all the treasure. Go ahead and go for it. Obviously, you can't make artifacts. It limits at legendary, so you can't make a deck of many things. I'm sorry, but you can anything that's legendary or below, as long as you meet the requirements for it, knock yourself out.
Yep.
So whatever you feel like you guys are gonna like, we are going to like storm the big bad's dungeon. Blah blah blah. I would feel much more secure if we had like a belt of giant string with us. Okay, that's going to take a long time. What are you guys going to be doing while this person is making this belt of giant string? Oh,
or is everybody going to pitch in?
Exactly. You know, and this could be something where it's like I said, the world is changing. Like if it's a big bad evil guy that has like political influences, like towns around you could shift factions or something like that, or you can be cut off from certain things because you took so much time from doing this. NPCs could die, or you know, new NPCs can roll in the town because of this. You know, like this is something where like as a DM you're gonna have to really be creative, think outside the box, and just kind of do like a stream of consciousness thing on some parts, but it's going to be much more rewarding if you do that. So
I agree.
Yep. Okay.
All right, now gaining renown.
Gaining renown is probably one of the more weirder ones, and it's gonna take a bit more work on the DM side. So as a DM, you have to establish what are the rewards for gaining renown within your factions, and it defines.
And a good building block on that is, for as much as we hated that adventure, Waterdeep, Golden Heist or whatever, Dragon Heist.
I didn't hate the adventure. Okay. All right. It just had problems, but we addressed that. I did not hate the adventure. Anyways, exactly. So be like, so you kind of have to establish, so you're going to have to do a little bit more research on your end. Like, what would a Zentarum gain from becoming the next level of Zentarum, blah, blah, blah. But essentially, it defines it as gaining renown is that you will work doing minor tasks around the factions area, doing small favors, carrying out minor missions, and you will gain a renown. So whatever your renown is, so let's say you're starting out as a harper and you have 1 renown. You'll have to work 10 days because it's your renown times 10, and you will gain an extra renown. So then you will have a renown of 2. I think 3 is when you become the next level of whatever these factions are. So you'll have to work an extra 20 days on top of that. This is going to be something. This this adds a lot more depth to your character and flavor. Where, like, say this person is making that belt of giant strength, and this person is helping build this abbey or something like that. I'm gonna be working for the Emerald Enclave, and then when you guys are done, I'm gonna stroll in this abbey, and I'm gonna be like the head druid of the Emerald Enclave. And it took you all,
Yeah.
it took y'all 17 years. But no, I'm just saying it adds a much more flavorful progression for characters, because it's like, I feel weirdly like right now as it is, like, yes, you become more powerful, but in the world, do you feel like you have shifted? You know? And sometimes it's like, no, it's weird. So I feel like this gives you, like, your character a bit more worldliness, you know. So that's gaining renown. Now, performing sacred rites. This one I like because, you know me, I like my religious characters.
This is an inspiration machine.
It is. If you're a believer in a pious deity or something like that, you can perform 10 days working in a temple, cleaning the chamber pots, lighting the candles, getting the incense, that kind of stuff.
Which kind of makes sense to me, because, like, religion, you know, it's underplayed in unless you're a warlock, but even that's whatever. Even then it gets underplayed too. But religion really gets underplayed, and I feel like this gives you just a small mechanic to make it worth being that guy who's like, oh, I don't drink because I'm in whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Every time there's like you are a follower of whatever, it's like, okay, give me my powers. Here we go.
But, like,
that's it.
But this is something, because it says a priest, a character who's a priest, which I imagine would be like a paladin and a cleric. Those are your two big ones. A character who's a priest can lead these rites, which include wedding, funerals, and ordinations. All right, so you can have funerals for NPCs that have passed in between your downtime. You can have weddings for the NPC that your character fell in love with while you were carousing, you know? Yep. And you know, you can have ordinations. Like, this just expands the world in such a way.
So also not so much that people who or NPCs have passed away as you during downtime. It's when we went into I forgot the name of the town, and then all the another Harpers, the Zentharum, when the Zentharum attacked that's that guard station, and then we went in there and, like, we threw the guy out the window and stuff like that, and there was a bunch of people that were dead there that got attacked by the Zentharum.
Yeah.
That right after that, or not right after that, but like around that time, that would have been like a good time for you know, to bring that aspect of, like, all these NPCs were dead, but now one of the characters that is a, you know, religious character is gonna, you know, and do funeral rites for all of them, and boom, now you got whatever many days of inspiration.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we didn't get to that part, but yeah, if you perform 10 days of sacred rites, you gain inspiration for the next 2d6 days. And at the end of each long rest, you wake up, boom, you're inspired by your holy deity or whatever. But yes, and that would be something like, yes, you held funerals for all those that were slain in the Zentharum attack against East Haven, and East Haven will now remember you forever for your tenderness, and, you know, in such an awful event that transpired, and you'll always have a home in East Haven, kind of thing. You know, like, there's, like, things like that. Like, you know, again, build stakes into stuff, you know, that
how about Beery cleaning all of those all of the what is it called, all the altars for her god, I forgot the name of it.
For Tempest. For
Tempest,
yeah, she can go to Goodmead, and she can like I would honestly say, if she has, like, woodworking, like, tools and stuff like that, she has proficiency with it, her rebuilding the Temple of Tempest can be considered a sacred rite. Like, you're restoring it, or just you cleaning it, so you can spend the next 10 days in Goodmead, you know, mourn Boffer the Coffer, you know, and then boom, 2d6 inspiration inspiration for the next 2d6 days. There you go.
Yeah, exactly, which is amazing, because, like, can you imagine, because now you have to use your inspiration for it to come back up the next day. So Unstoppable Beery, what?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and also inspiration is such, like, a, I don't want to say it's like such a nothing thing, but it's something that, like, as a DM, I feel like I don't give out inspiration enough. So having
you're busy doing things, right? Like, you forget.
There's a lot of levers to pull, and hey, you know what? Sometimes my metric is, hey, which one of these people made me laugh the most? Okay, so we get inspiration, you know, or you know,
it works great for me.
You know, so so like having a mechanic that gives you inspiration is super useful on a DM side, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
but now here's not now. Hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't say you have to do 10 days consecutively. It just says 10 days. So her cleaning up the temple of Tempest and Goodmead, that can count as a day. She was cleaning off the graves in Brynstander, that could be a day. You know, so all she has to do is just 8 more tasks around town, helping out the religions, and then boom, inspiration. There you go.
Yep.
You know, here's a big old box of inspiration. Don't spend it all in one place. So.
All right, so the next one is the one that we kind of did a little bit in Waterdeep, which is running a business.
Mm-hmm. And this is always the one that, like, when people's like, "Oh, what is D&D?" Like, I heard it's just like going in the dungeons. I'm like, no, dude, you can run a fucking bakery. Like, this is what I think of when I think of all the weird stuff you get, like the possibilities of D&D.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get into it, or do you want me to?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
No, you can go for it.
Okay, so running a business, kind of exactly what it says on the tin. You can run a business, which could be one of the places that you open up when you were building a stronghold. As you are, every day that you're working there, you have to roll a percentile dice to see how your business did. Now, every day that you're working there consecutively, you add to that percentile dice. So you work there one day, you roll a D100 plus 1, and it maxes out at 30. So after a month, you'll be rolling a D100 plus 30, and then that's whatever it is. So depending on your role, you could either gain a pretty big profit, an okay profit, or you can cover your losses completely, or you are in like debt. Now the thing about it is that this also plays into another table that is on page, I just had it, hold on. That is on page 127, just before downtime activities, called maintenance costs. So every day you have to pay the maintenance cost, and this is coming out of your pocket. This isn't like coming out of the ether. This is coming out of your pocket for the maintenance costs, and depending on how well your business does, the profits can cover maintenance and then give you a little bit more, or the profits can just cover maintenance. If you start to accrue debts, you have to pay that debt off, because if not, every debt that you don't pay is a -10 to your next roll. So all it takes is 3 days of bad business to undo that 30 days that you've been working in there. And then anything on top of that, just keeps stacking. There's no limit. You can get to the point where like you're running a ramshackle bakery that has like rats crawling all over the bread and crap like that, and you're rolling a -100. You know, so
just close the damn thing. No, I got hopes.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why your character needs help. Like, we need to get Gordon Ramsay in here, and he's like, it's fucking raw.
I'm an idiot sandwich. What are you?
How can you cook like this? And it was like, yeah, that's when you introduce the barbarian character, which is Gordon Ramsay with cooking proficiencies. But this, like I said, this all plays into like, well, it even says first you have to get a parcel of land, then you got to build it. If you are building it from the ground up, and then you have to run the damn thing. It's not going to be like a money machine. Like, you have to be there for it. Let's see. I think
could be if you're lucky.
Let's see. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. Does it say it can run by itself, though? No, you have to be there.
Not here, but on Waterdeep again. Man, I guess Waterdeep was just an extension of downtime activities. They have mechanics for the people you hire, how many people you hire, versus how much extra you have to pay per day. But the more people you have, the more chances you have of your business doing well, yada yada. So it can run by itself.
Oh, okay. So then,
yeah, it expands on it on Waterdeep.
So then this could be something that, like, while you guys are out adventuring, the DM is behind the screen just rolling a D100 every day. Like, hey, we did a long rest. Right, D100.
Yep, and then you make it quite literally like a expenses sheet, and it just rolls on how much plus a minute. Like, I mean, yeah, literally that's what it is. Though you just put modifiers, you know.
A raven comes by and drops off a tax mark. Like, shit.
I'm on the red. Damn it.
Oh fuck. Oh god. There better be some fucking gold in this dungeon. All right, let's go.
Do me a favor and burn down my bakery. Make it look like an accident.
I mean, you could. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you insure? Oh, I would definitely.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what.
I would definitely home rule something. We're like you have like every month you have to pay like X amount in insurance, and if something should happen, you can get the amount that whatever the building cost is for that back. As long as it's like nothing like we can't find proof of arson or something like that. Oh
great.
Man, I would. Oh, we're gonna commit insurance fraud in this campaign.
Write that down.
But I think that would be because like the one thing that like our characters don't really get is like correspondence of stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
Like you've got like letters from your grandma and stuff or you send letters from your grandma. You got one back from your grandpa. We all saw how that went. But then like this would be something where it's like, oh hey, while you were gone, Bethany chopped off one of her thumbs, so like our business kind of did bad, and we found out that we have an infestation.
Of rats? No, I wish it was rats.
We wish
so much worse.
It's blink rats. We can't catch them. and then this is where your level 1 dire rat hunter quest comes into play.
And now you're a quest giver.
Yeah, exactly. See, now the student has become the master. That would actually be an excellent point. Be like, hey, I have some dire rats in my basement. I'm too busy killing these skeletons in this tomb. Can you like take care of them for me? Sure thing. And then you can have like a level 1 shot.
Yeah.
just like while the rest of the party is saving the world in Icewind Dale, these level 1 bump bucks are like fighting on rats with like a mop.
A sharpened mop stick.
One of them has like that dog catcher like loop on a stick. Like don't let it get away. Don't let it.
I got one, but there's 3 more on the other side. Oh god, they're biting me.
It's eating me. It's eating me.
No, Timmy just turned into one of them.
Oh god, we got were rats.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. See the possibilities of like stupid shit you can do if we had downtime activities.
The adventurer goes back. It's like, we got rid of the dire rats. But now we have were rats.
Yeah, so
we got what?
So I got good news and I got bad news. He
has two rat bites on his
The good news is you don't have dire rats. What's the bad news? They were actually were rats. And we didn't have silvered weapons, so it's all right. I can remove curse. It's fine.
Thank you, Buzz.
But you're gonna have to give us an advance in our pay. and that's how we introduce our level 1 characters, the rat catchers.
There you go. Oh man.
Okay. So then the next one plays into one of the previous ones, which is selling magic items. Now, what I think is interesting is that when it comes to magic items, first of all, you can't sell legendary items.
Right.
Sorry. You can't sell legendary artifacts because it describes that no one's going to pay you the money that's worth it. like you are not going to recoup your losses on selling this. But you have to roll an investigation check, and you have to roll a pretty high investigation check to find a buyer. That's just finding a buyer. And then on top of that, you have to roll a persuasion check to well, hold on. Oh no, sorry. So you have to roll an investigation check on a pretty high DC to find a buyer. After that, the DM rolls a D100 to see what the buyer is going to say, and you add the character that's selling the magic items charisma modifier to that. and that's going to help play into whatever you're selling. The thing is, whatever you're selling, it's going to be harder to sell. So if you have a common magic item, it's actually easier to sell. You get a +10 to that D100 modifier, because anybody can use a health potion. Like, crap, dude. Like, yeah, that's going to be great, you know. But then selling like a very rare item, you're not going to find a lot of common folk in the town are going to need like a necklace of fireball or something like that. So you're going to have a lot harder of a time selling it. So you got to have a really good charisma modifier to kind of help recoup the amount of probability there.
Right.
On top of that, the time it takes to for each tier, because it breaks it down from common all the way to very rare. The time it takes is a lot. There's a bigger time jump between finding a common buyer versus finding someone that's going to buy a very rare item. So let's say you have a very rare item. It's going to take 1d10 days. All right. So let's say it took you a whole 10 day to find a buyer. Every day you have to. I know there's like a gold amount they have to spend. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's whatever your lifestyle expenses are. So every day you have to spend your lifestyle expenses just finding a buyer for it. And then on top of that, you have to roll a D100. And depending on that, you can either have someone that's going to try to scalp you on it. Like, they will give you like an insultingly low price. Or the highest one is that you'll find a buyer that's really shady, but they'll give you 1.5 for it as long as as long as you don't ask any questions for it. So this could be something where like you could just this is a good way for like if you have let's say you have a more martial party, like you have a lot of fighters, barbarians, and rangers in your group, and you have a lot of magic items. Like, well, we're not really gonna be needing these because like our abilities alone, or maybe you have like a magic party and you have a lot of magical items, and like, well, a lot of these are kind of redundant because I can cast these spells, whatever.
Right.
Well, let's just sell them. All right. Well, good job. You just sold that cloak of stars to somebody that had like evil intentions, and now they're like gonna start climbing the ranks of like the crime ladder because you gave them a weapon. So now while you're out in the town, like climbing through the mountains, you come back and this dude has this town in like an iron grip now because you gave him the item. So and hey man, he gave you a good profit for it, but you can't ask any questions.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, this seems like a much more interesting option. It's a good way to get rid of a lot of like unwanted inventory, but it's also, if you're a very creative DM, this is also a good way to like create NPC interactions that right. that could have ramifications in the future for good or for bad. Yeah.
Yep. It's also, it's pretty straightforward too to get it done.
Yeah. So, this is one that like if you really wanted to, you can just roll on some tables. All right, yeah, here you go. But like I said, if you're like a more creative DM, you can like make a note like, hey, this guy sold blah blah blah, and then later on you have to go investigate a murder. Like, oh hey, this weapon seems pretty familiar. Oh shit, that's because I sold it to them.
You kill the big bad evil guy, and he has like the wand with your initials in it. Like, oh fuck.
Oh. I don't know where he got this from, officer.
Weird. You just stow it away. All right, next one.
Next one.
Sword rumors. All
right, so you spend a gold per day on top of your lifestyle expenses sowing rumors. Pretty straightforward. What this could do is that you could use these rumors to bring down an opponent. Like maybe what if you have like a more politically charged campaign, and you have to like dethrone this guy. Well, we're all good characters here, so obviously like a bloody coup's off the table. All right, so then we'll just take him out from within. So you start sowing rumors that, hey, this guy's done some bad stuff. Depending on the size of the settlement is how long it takes for you to sow these rumors. Now here's the thing. Everything up until this point has been like certain downtime events have been like, okay, you can come back to this, go do your thing, come back to this, blah blah blah. Here, you have to stay in town the entire time.
It's like a passive active thing.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're in let's say you're in a city, and you roll 66 dice, and you got, I don't know, 21. You have to be in town for 21 days straight, spending a gold plus your lifestyle expenses, sowing these rumors, so that way,
literally a smear campaign.
Yeah, exactly. That way they know the open Lord of Waterdeep, is actually a were-rabbit and blah blah blah, or like not, or some crap like that.
A were-bee.
And then on top of that, you have to make a, at the end of that, you have to make a deception or persuasion check. Persuasion if you're, it doesn't say which, but I would think persuasion if you're helping somebody, like maybe you're backing a political campaigner, or maybe you're trying to like get one of your party members in on something, like they need to get in on a thieves guild or some crap like that. So persuasion check to help somebody, deception check if you're trying to sow rumors to harm somebody.
So let me ask you this. Do you think there should be more checks instead of just one at the end of it?
Let's see. Well, no, see, that's the thing. Hold on. Because it says if the check passes, the community shifts one tier towards either hostile or friendly. Now, there is somewhere in the DMG, I forget exactly where it is, there is like a scale of hostility and friendly. And like in the middle, there's indifferent, and then there's like friendly, like very friendly, and like we'll die for you kind of a thing. And then and then there's like doesn't like you, hostile, will kill you on sight kind of a deal. So you have to make a check to build it up to whichever one you're going to do. The thing is though, so if you make that check, it goes up or it goes down one towards wherever one you're building towards. If you fail that check, the rumor dies and you can't pick it back up. So you have to hope to God that check passes, because if not, you got to start the whole thing over again, and then you've lost that 21 days and however many gold you spent buying drinks for people. So I mean, it actually seems like a much more like yeah, you say it's just one check, but if you fail that check, then there's a lot more sunk in this. Jose?
Sorry. I got a message from work. My bad.
Oh, okay.
It looked critical, but it wasn't.
Okay, I thought you froze for a second because you weren't moving. Like, great.
Nah, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I can see a little potential in this when it comes to like. I know there was a couple moments that we probably could have used that in some of the towns that we visited.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add a little bit more political intrigue to it. I see why it's there. I don't see ourselves using it too often. I don't know.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. If I could redo Rime of the Frost Man all over again, all right, let's just go back in time to
start from scratch.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. Whoa, back in time. All right, and it gets to that part. It gets to the part where the speakers are going to vote on whether to continue the town sacrifices or not. Okay, well, the ones that the speakers that you've helped are automatically going to be on your side,
Right.
But like the ones that either are indifferent or hostile to, that's when you start sowing the rumors against them, and then so you have it to where the speaker is going to vote in whichever way you favor, not because they care about you, but because if not, the people are going to turn on them, and it is a democratic thing. So it's like if the next election season comes around and they get voted out, well, then they just lost all that power. So, so maybe you can sow the rumors to help sway the community against the speaker or for the speaker kind of a thing. So, I mean, there are things like there are things you can do. You do have to think a little bit creative, and it says going to be outside of the smashing the door down and killing goblins kind of D&D. But this also makes it to where the game isn't so one note. Like you can, make things more interesting, like build the world around you, like make it be,
definitely,
give it a Song of Ice and Fire vibes where it's like, yes, like, like you physically might be able to win, but you don't have the people's backing, so politically you lose.
Right.
You know. All right.
All right. The last one.
The last one is honestly probably the one that I'm probably never going to use.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Like training to gain levels, which is like, okay, I get it why it's there, but isn't the whole point of the adventure to gain levels?
I feel like, oh, well, okay.
Andrew, this whole time we were on break during Christmas, I was training.
No, you weren't. Because it says experience points and we use milestones. So, haha.
Yeah, that's true.
So this could be something that's like, if this, I can see this being a good way for like if you're a DM and you want to do downtime, but you really don't know of a way to introduce it in such a way that like the players might bite on it. You'd be like, okay, well, we're going to do experience points. Yay. Okay. Well, okay. Hold on, you murder hobos. So what we're going to do is that you have to train for your levels. Oh, yeah, exactly. Sorry. So what this is that per level, okay, I have enough experience points to get to level 2, but now I have to train on my skills to get that second level. So then to get to level 2, I have to train for 10 days and I have to spend 20 gold. While this 10 days are happening, the rest of the party can go carousing or whatever, right. help run a business. They're not going to be running a business in themselves because they're only level 1, but they can, go help their mom's tavern or some crap like this. I could see this being a good way to justify spending the gold and also kind of like have a narrative purpose for being like, why is the fighter able to attack 18 times in 6 seconds? Well, because they trained on it,
Right. So, it wasn't just like a magical, oh, wait, I can hit twice now.
Yeah. Haha, I'm much stronger now. And all of a sudden you bulk up. Like, no, you trained on it. You you literally have a montage sequence.
Like, yeah, you have the experience from your adventures, but then you put it into practice and then that's how you get the skill.
Now,
I can see it. I can see it for like a slower, like, pace adventure and like,
yeah.
But man, I don't know if I mean.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I would like that.
I mean, because we played Milestone, I feel like I would feel like having to train. I feel like it might be an insult to be like, oh, okay, well, you've completed the blah blah blah, you've defeated the dragon and yada yada. You gain a level, but first you have to train for it. Haha, sorry.
Yeah.
Like no. Like this is
was the training. You trial by fire type thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like if we're doing like an experience thing where it's like this is a homebrew campaign and it's like a weekly like monster of the week, like sort of like I don't have an overarching story, but we're just kind of rolling an adventure every week kind of a deal. I can see this. I can see this. But in the campaign styles that we are currently running, even if I were to do downtime, I would be hesitant to put this in there. Because it just, like I said, it just kind of feels not like a slap in the face, but I feel like it would like kind of take the fun out of leveling up, because leveling up should be its own reward.
Yep.
Like you did all this stuff, you barely escaped the blah blah blah, and you get a level up, boom. So then having to do extra work on top of that kind of just feel like you're stringing the players along.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I can agree with that. So it's a tool. I get it why it's there. I think just in general, I don't see it happening for us at least.
I can see the uses of it, but I personally don't see myself using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. I mean, technically the last one is creating your own downtime activity. It's just tidbits to create your own stuff. But we just talked about the main ones that seem to be the biggest strokes of adventuring. Mm-hmm. So out of all of them, I mean, I think they're all pretty useful. My favorite, I think so far, I think is the carousing.
Yeah,
I think it's a great. It's a great way to just kind of like players AFK or like we took a quick break. I don't know. It's I see a lot of uses for that one, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially in all levels. Because I mean, like the building a fortress is definitely like later, like high level. Like running a business is mid to high. Like I feel like carousing can be
You don't.
Applied
There ain't no level cap nor limit on getting drunk and getting into a fist fight in a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like like these are neat little things you can throw in, make the game give the game a little bit more oomph. Make it a little bit more believable. Do a time skip.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I hope you guys learn a little bit. I definitely did, because like I kind of always skip over the downtime part of the DMG, only because I knew it was there. I just knew that I wasn't gonna apply it on my games. But after really diving into them, I'm really gonna apply a lot of them to my game actually.
Yep.
Because it really helps build, not hooks. What's player agency?
Yeah. And like I said, and not only that, but it makes I feel like it would make a narrative flow more organically.
Yep.
So like yeah, of course, like quests aren't going to be lined up for you. You kind of stumble upon them while you're doing everyday things.
Yep. Exactly. All right. We don't have session highlights because we haven't played for like a little bit over a month.
I mean, we could talk about Warzone for a bit. Nah.
Hey, no. Session highlights, Warzone. What was your favorite part, Andrew? No.
When we scared the piss out of that guy in the mall.
Yeah, we were moving like a team and we scared. Anyways, no, we're not gonna talk about Warzone. We are, however, playing Warzone. I guess we like it now, so make sure to tune in on Tuesdays to check us out.
I'm sorry, we're a bunch of hacks. We like Call of Duty,
Yeah, Andrew said it best. It's like I never thought I was gonna be excited to play Call of Duty after like so many years, but I guess here we are.
It's fun. I'm not good at it, but it's fun.
Yeah, same. We're terrible. I think the most kill any one of us got was like 3.
Uh-huh. I'm not gonna look at my KD ratio. It's probably bad.
No. Don't do that. I'll bring your spirits down.
No.
However, though, we do have a little bit of news.
Oh man, do we have some news? Ooh.
Yeah. So, Hasbro, I'm gonna say Hasbro because it's mainly Hasbro, is pulling a little bit of a Blizzard Activision move over here, because they're trying to update their OGL. Well, okay, so all right, let's rewind.
Well, hold on. I don't think we should not include Wizard of the Coast's name here too, because I mean, it is their name on it as well. Like Hasbro is,
Yeah, they're the big daddies who are cracking the whip.
Yeah.
But why are they cracking the whip? Because I guess the main guy up there, I don't know names, please don't fact check me. He was just like, hey, we're not making enough money from Wizards. That's not monetized enough. We need to make more cash.
We didn't make all the money. This is only the biggest edition we've ever had, but we're not making all the fucking money.
Yeah, this is classic. Like, they just look at like, and I hate it, but they just look at the big ones. They look at EA, they look at Blizzard and Activision, and they're like, wow, they're making so much money. Whoa, we need to do that. They don't ever look at their games are shit and they're always broken and the community hates them. And the problem with that is that the thing that makes D&D so great is their community. So what do they decide to do? Shit on it.
And this is a big indicative problem of the like constant growth thing, where like we have to do better every quarter than we did the quarter before.
Yep.
And so the long and the short of it is that so there's nothing. I did a little bit more research than not at all, instead of just listening to the outrage, and there's nothing substantiated as of yet. But
none of this has been confirmed.
There has been a leaked document from last December saying that Hasbro. I try to say Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast at the same time. Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast are going to revise or just take away the OGL as we know it now, which stands for Open Games License.
They're calling it the OGL 1.1.
Yeah. So what this means is that anything that is derivative of D&D will have to specifically
the D20 system.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very important.
The TSR D20 system that Wizards of the Coast bought from TSR. Anything derivative of that will have to give a portions of their profit towards Hasbro, and then on top of that, I think, don't quote me on this because we are treading on thin ice here, but I think they also have to get like licensing from them, like they have to get permission from them,
Yeah, and again, it's just one leaked document. Nothing has been concrete. But yes, you're right. It is, if you're using the D20 system and you're publishing, it's very important. You're publishing and you're putting something out there on the internet for people to use, whether you're charging $1 or $60 for a book that uses the D20 system. A portion of your gains has to go to Wizards of the Coast.
And not only that, but they can also like cease and desist on anything that they don't.
Not so much, and not so much even, because even that you're kind of like, okay, well, if I get a cease and desist, I just stop, right?
Right.
The problem I have with it, because hey, it's a business. If you're making $1 million a month with something that is clearly D&D, you have to pay your due, right? Yeah. You can't just get away with that. Is it a little extortion like from them to do this, make it this big deal? Yes. However, if I'm making a Sword Coast adventure and I'm using Drizzt name and Waterdeep and all this stuff, I am okay with paying 20, 25, whatever it is, a licensing fee for it, right? Especially if I'm making big bang from it.
Right.
The problem I have with it is that they're pulling what Blizzard did with the new Warcraft 3 remaster.
Yeah.
Is that they have I can use whatever you make under Wizard whatever you make, I can use it without asking for permission and claim it as my own.
Yep.
Which is the big middle finger I hate. That part is dirty. It is scummy.
So what this means is that the DM's Guild is fucked. Because some of those adventures aren't even tied to Sword Coast or Faerun or Greyhawk or whatever, but because they use the D20 system and because a lot of those adventures are D&D related
and they're being published,
they can just pull them and just be like, nope, just shred up, just shred them up. And so,
but hear me out. I know your concern right now is mainly the shredding and destroying, which I'm okay with, because somebody out there is gonna have the pirated version of it or whatever. Have the original document.
But I mean,
that part doesn't bother me. The part is like, they don't have to tell you. Like, let's say you publish 3 or 4 adventures or modules or whatever, and they can put that under book, and boom, big middle fingers now.
But here's the thing:
there's nothing you can do about that anymore.
Oh yeah, but not only that, but okay, so that's a big problem too. That's the fact that they can pull up in a metaphorical black van and just get rid of whatever they want. And that's super scum.
No. I mean, no. Sorry, I mean, pull it into a published book by Wizards of the Coast. Grab your content, put it on the Monster Manual version 2.0.
Yeah.
And publish it as the Dungeons & Dragons official book, and have your content there without giving you any credit or giving you any money or gains from it.
Yeah, exactly. And just completely steal your work from you, like right out from underneath you. But then on top of that, I lost my train of thought. But there are people that like there are professional DMs. There are people that are professional content creators, and this is going to affect them. The biggest one is Critical Role. Critical Role is not it's not officially affiliated with Hasbro. Like, they are not contracted by Hasbro or anything like that. They are their own thing, and they just play D&D. Like, yeah, they work alongside the website, the D&D website that helps you build
Roll20?
No.
D&D Beyond?
Yeah, D&D Beyond. Like, yeah, they work with that and stuff like that. But I mean, if they wanted to, Wizards could be like, no, and just shut off Critical Role,
Right.
And that's its own thing. Like it's like say what you will about Critical Role. Like, personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but like I'm not gonna turn the power off on them and shut down this like empire of media just because I'm on a power trip,
Yep. And let's rewind here a little bit. So essentially, the open game licensing was essentially like a good faith handshake between Wizards of the Coast and the fan base of, you can just use.
Well, not just the fan base, and like anybody else,
Who's Devious Intention again? I forgot. Is that Howard?
I think that might be Robert.
Oh, Robert. Yes, they do have multiple. Sorry, chat says that they have multiple shows from College Humor. Oh yeah, College Humor is also becoming pretty big in the D&D world. Sorry, I lost my train of thought on that. What was I saying?
Oh, but I mean, you're saying how the OGL is like a good faith handshake between Wizards and the community,
creators and Wizards of the Coast, and the community.
But like not only that, but like Pathfinder, it can be considered derivative of D&D. Like so if if they wanted to, Hasbro can take Paizo to court. And
Well, so
no,
my understanding on hold on. So my understanding on that one is that Paizo is already paying licensing for the D20 system, and at this point, whatchamacallit, Pathfinder is its own identity. Like they're not too worried about it, but this is giving more ammunition to Wizards to pull something like that.
But see, the thing about it is that if this opens the door for it, Paizo is not as big as Hasbro. Hasbro can just drown Paizo in legal fees if they really want. If they really wanted to squash the competition, they can just do that. Because Hasbro has all the money in the world. Because they're essentially the Nestle of toys. Like they have an infinite amount of cash, and they can just stomp out any any smaller people.
And I feel I regain my train of thought. Okay, so the whole OGL thing was just a big whole good faith handshake, and this is why you can see like all these Kickstarters creating stuff for D&D. That's why you can see the big tome of monsters, the really like popular extra expansions on the monster manual. Not necessarily official. They look very much like D&D books. Somebody's making a good living out of that.
You got
they
me.
Created.
They create that Empire of Ghouls book. That was an independent thing that uses the D20 system.
Exactly. Their professional looking books are created by a team of people working on it. And I don't know the legality, but I know that I don't know the legality, and I'm not sure about this. But presumably they don't have to like. It's not D&D. It's not in the. It's just monsters you can put in your game, right? It uses the D20 system, but it's not now with the change of licensing to the OGL 1.1, we get into the realm of like, nope, that uses the D20 system. That is definitely, the book has almost the same branding as us. That is ours now, and then you can just plot that, call it the Monster Manual 2.0, boom, and publish it. And Wizards can publish that without giving anything to the original creators of it.
I mean,
and that's the problem, because like, I mean, it's obviously a big problem, but like Wizards. What makes D&D great is the community. There's no fandom out there that has such a welcoming community. Yes, there's crap, there's trash out there, but there's a huge community.
There always is.
But like comparatively to other ones, we're very nice people, and
there's
so many. There's so many creators out there that are adding so much. I know of people who don't buy the official books. They buy the stuff from Kickstarter and the stuff from DM guilds, because they just keep using it. They like that better. Some of the stuff is so much better than the official stuff. That's the crappy part. And look at like the book that I pre-ordered from WebDM.
Yeah,
bro. Now Wizards can be like, sorry.
Nope, that's ours now.
And they had an extremely successful campaign.
It's literally the meme of, you made this, I made this.
Yep.
And like how many Kickstarters have we shared between us where people are making like Viking stuff for D&D or samurai stuff for D&D, blah blah, like all this weird stuff, and like all these small independent people are like they're like, this is their dream. They're making stuff for a game that they love because it's it's like an open source thing, and now Hasbro's like, no, fuck you, pay me.
And they're making. I'm not even saying that they're like super rich and stuff, and they're making that comfortable amount of money from it because they work hard on that, and I believe that they should get most, if not all of it. And that's the issue I have with it, because right now I think they have it capped that if you make more than 750,000, you have to report it to Wizards, right? But they also have like another like sentence after that they could just change that whatever the fuck they feel like it, with just a 30-day warning period. And I'm just like, 30 days is not. If somebody let's say I'm making $1 million with one book that we created, Andrew, Cowboys and Steampunk, right? Using the D20 system, and we're making $1 million a year with it. And up to this point, we didn't have to report any of it to Wizards, because it's not technically part of the D&D world, right?
Yeah, it's our D20. It's our own setting, our own characters, our own monsters. We just use the D20 system.
Yep, and we have hundreds of thousands of books in warehouses with the cover that we created that looks very similar to. It's designed very similar to the one, so it fits nicely on your shelf because we're thinking of the consumer. And we get a 30-day notice that we have to that this is gonna happen, and we have to start paying to Wizards of the Coast, or they're gonna and now what we made is on their system, and they can take it if they want to because we use the D20 system. 30 days is not nearly enough.
No.
To make changes.
No.
Like even if you want to save your IP, like you can't you have to like the D20 system is ingrained in everything. The art is ingrained. The logos are ingrained. You have 100,000 books already printed, and this is what a lot of these people are gonna be going through. You know, and it kind of really sucks, man, because now that we were just talking about trying to make a little setting on like the cowboy steampunk thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Dieselpunk, but you know.
Dieselpunk, sorry. And now we're like, well, if we make that and we put it on DM's Guild, not saying that it's gonna be the greatest thing in the world, but the minute we publish it on DM's Guild, it's no longer ours.
Yeah, is it even gonna happen anymore? You know,
it's no longer ours. Like the minute it's out there,
yeah,
it's no longer ours.
This is just a spit in the face for every independent artist, every independent creator. Like, you know, and this is like, these are people that obviously love the game. Like if they weren't absolutely obsessed with D&D, they wouldn't be creating like supplementary content for it. Like this is not like, you know, like they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They just want to add more stuff to it. They want to do, and then Hasbro's coming in and just stealing their stuff. Like, God, fuck you.
And the thing that sucks is that a lot of the stuff that the community creates is better than the original D&D stuff. It's like,
you know, I mean,
it's not our fault that we're more creative than you. Also, Devious Intention says, is the Eleanor issue with Mustang. The dudes were making a custom Mustang all of their own, and they mentioned they were calling it the Eleanor, and it was repossessed. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but yeah.
But I mean, it could totally happen. And it's gonna have to, if this passes, like we're gonna have some weird fucking like underground, like black market,
a Craigslist of D&D stuff.
Hey man, you got the good shit. Yeah, man. Here's some travel rules. Don't let keep it down.
Yeah, stop. Man.
Like,
dude, it sucks. And I mean, and like right now we're all up in arms about this leak. It's not being confirmed or anything like that, but
I really hope, because the D&D community has caught on fire with this.
Yeah.
Like like any forum, any subreddit you go to, they're talking about the OGL. So I'm really hoping the public opinion is going to sway, because there's a lot of people there. I mean, people have been kind of going to Pathfinder 2 for reasons, you know, because 5e has its flaws. It's not perfect, blah blah blah. But I feel like if they do this, they're gonna lose a lot of players.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna push people to change to other systems, the D10, D6 systems, they're free for it. Which we don't personally have a problem with it. We've used it before. I think it's fine. It's great. I think it's even more simplified than the D20 system, in my opinion. That makes so. If anything, it's gonna make people explore. It's gonna make people explore other RPGs. So
but it's still wrong. I mean, like wrong on so 100%. Many levels. But I mean, I have a hard question for you, and I know it's a difficult question because even I can't come up with an answer for it. But if they pass the OGL and they're doing all this dystopian shit that we're afraid of, are you going to keep playing D&D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm honestly, because I use official stuff all the time. I'm too lazy to create my own shit. Does it suck? Yeah. You know what else sucks? Apple's policies, Google's policies, Facebook policies. I still use all those things. I hurt for all the creators out there that are getting fucked over this. I really do. But me not buying the next book or not playing the game is not gonna hurt them. Not even a little bit.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know if I would. Personally, I don't know. If they do this Disney shit where they're just, you know, pulling the rug out from all these independent creators and whatnot, I don't think in good faith I can keep supporting them. I mean, I know the amount of money I give them is a drop in the bucket, but I don't know.
And that's 100% fair, man. And like, I get it, I understand. Like, my brain is in there too. Like, fuck this. I'm gonna burn all my books. I'm not gonna like stream anymore. Like, that's what my brain wants. That's what my heart wants to be. But at the end of the day, I fucking love this game. I do. Do they want to make money? Is this fucked up? Yeah, I get it. It's a business. It really is a business. It's a fucked up way to go about it. It's a Blizzard thing. But Blizzard, at least with Blizzard, when they pull that shit, their games are shit. So I'm just like, don't have any reason to continue playing that.
I'm just saying.
Would this give us a little leverage to get the group to play other games more often?
Hey, Lancer doesn't use the D20 system.
Yeah, I'm down for Lancer. I'm down for Dune, the super in-depth.
But I mean, like honestly, if this goes the way that we're fearing it's heading, and somehow Paizo remains untouched, I might just switch over to Pathfinder.
I'm okay with that.
I know Howard is. Howard's fucking chomping at the bit for this OGL to pass.
I told you guys it's gonna happen.
1.1. 1.1.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, I want to be as outraged as the other person, but like, I get it. It's fucked up, and I will support anybody who wants to support not supporting the Wizards.
Yeah.
But
because I mean, the thing about it is that like, yeah, you're right. We are surrounded by these monoliths of capitalism that are corrupt and whatnot. But this hits home. Like I really don't give a shit about Google. I don't give a shit about Disney. I don't give a crap about Apple, whatnot. But this is it. This is it for me. Like this is the one that this gets me right in the heart. So I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, it might just be more of like to clear my conscience kind of a thing.
And hey, like I'm sure the community is gonna find ways to do the whole legally distinct bullshit that we always do to get away with things.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to find works around. This is just another tool for them to, if they want to go after somebody who's making $20 million a year, using something similar to D&D, they can go after them. That's really all it is. It's a tool to do that. Small creators. Okay, I'm gonna say this with a big grain of salt on top of it, but I believe that small creators, people, the web DMs, like the Hollows, Grim Hollows, the big book of monsters, like all these people are gonna be just fine. The people who are gonna be worried about this are the critical roles, are the bigger the people who are taking a bigger chunk out of their pie.
The College Humor Acquisition Incorporated.
There's no small creator out there that's taking enough out of the big wizard pie that they're gonna go after. And I believe they're smart enough to not go after the small creators, especially after this backlash. This is just a fucking lawyer out there that came out of EA or whatever, just going like, "Hey guys, this OGL thing is really hurting us. We should probably tighten it up a little bit." I honestly think that's all of it.
You say that, but also, I think we should not underestimate the stupidity of a CEO.
Yeah.
CEO's legal team and this quarterly review mentality they have. But also, on top of that, like Critical Role is going to be like the first one on the chopping block. But how many people have played 5e because of Critical Role?
And again, I think, and again, just to kind of like put my 2 cents on that, Critical Role is fine. They have been officially published by Wizards. I'm sure they're already paying their dues to Wizards already. Again, this is for the outliers out there, and it's fun to get outraged about this stuff, and especially when it hasn't been confirmed. It is scary, but I have faith that it won't be as bad as we think it will be, or it could be worse. Who knows?
I mean,
I like to look at the good on things. And shitty as these things are.
I was about to say, this kind of just boils down to you're glass half full and I'm glass half empty.
Glass half empty.
So I mean, I'm looking at this with trepidation, and I am ready to jump into Pathfinder if I have to.
Yeah, dude. I mean, tell me. Tell me if we want to play Lancers. I'll be more than happy to go there.
I'm gonna have to work on getting Robert in there, but come on, man, we can do story stuff in Lancer too. Okay.
Devious Intention says the glass is on fire. It's not. It could be a lot worse. Trust me. People, the bottom line is, here's the bottom line.
But it can also be a lot better.
but the bottom line here is, the fan base of D&D is so strong and it's making them so much fucking money that if they enact this, like the way it is or worse, shit will will catch on fire really quickly. They're gonna notice it within a year or so, and then they're gonna revert back. I guarantee it, because they're not dumb enough to lose that much money. There's so much money going into this hobby the reason it's so big is because of the community. If the community steps away from it, nobody's gonna buy the official stuff. Are you kidding me?
But how many people? What percentage of the community? Because we just might be in the vocal minority here. Like the people that are outraged at this, the people that are throwing their hands up, they might be the vocal minority. How many people are just 9 to 5, average Joes and Janes out there that they just play a game once a week with their friends and they have no idea what's going on, or what's worse, support this. They could enact OGL 1.1 and the world will just keep on spinning and Hasbro just have their way.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. That nothing we can do.
Then we play Lancer.
Yes, please.
Can we play Lancer?
or Call of Cthulhu or Cyberpunk. I mean, I am down to sub it.
Hey man, I've actually been kind of wanting to jump back into Cyberpunk. That shit was fun.
That shit was fun. I agree. And now that all the official stuff is out, I'm down. The funny thing is, somebody pointed out that when TSR was TSR was known for suing everybody and their mother.
Yeah, but also TSR was kind of tiny by comparison.
By comparison, but this is back when gaming was not as big as it is now. Also,
I know, but like the difference of this is that you can have a little guy like punching around all they want, but now you got this big guy that has the weight.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right. But it's just the attitude is coming full circle, I guess.
I know.
But in all honesty, it's probably gonna be enacted. People are gonna be flipping shit. The good thing is a lot more of other RPGs are gonna get explored, which is great for people to like find other games out there. But at the end of the day, D&D is gonna keep going D&D. I don't think they're gonna go after WebDM for making their Wildlands Kickstarter.
Yeah, but what I'm afraid of is that I'm afraid of this is going to start to quash the ideas of people that want to do it, but they're too afraid to, because they,
that is gonna exactly what's gonna happen.
Because people, you never know. The hammer might fall on them.
Yeah.
Like WebDM and Critical Role can probably just completely get out of the way of it, but two guys in a garage making a book or something. Stop it right there.
And listen, people are crafty, man. They're gonna find ways to work around it. They might be like, oh, it's a 2D10 system.
Maybe
it's a D21 system.
I don't know. It's just, at the end of the day, I hope this doesn't happen. I'm really fucking disappointed that it is. That they're even thinking.
It wasn't necessary. You know what I mean? Like you're seeking money. There's other ways to make money. Just give us improved things. Give us better apps. Give us better books more often. I don't know. There's plenty of ways of doing that. I get it. This looks like it's opening the door for Wizards to just steal things from small creators.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's that little bit where what is it called? Here, I had it pulled up. They have a specific language for that. It was a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide sub-licensable, and royalty-free license.
That's a lot of ubles at the end of words.
That is literally oh wow, you used the D20 for this very niche thing that you and your campaign, that you and your friends are using, but you happen to put it on DM's Guild to share with other ones because they'll find it helpful also, and people in the community really like it. Well, we're gonna take it, plop it on our book, and not pay you or give you credit for it. That's the part. That part is the part that pisses me off. If they want to make money, I get it, but don't steal from small creators. That's fucked up.
I'm more than happy to jump ship. I love the game to death, but I owe no loyalties to Hasbro or Wizard of the Coast. And I'll be honest with you, that Starfinder book, it's calling my name, man. So
yeah, but that's also a D20 system, so
that's if Paizo comes out of this unscathed,
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how that develops. But that is the big news that happened over the holiday break.
That's the big shitty news.
Yeah, what a way to start 2023. I'm interested to see what the official OGL license is gonna look like. Not that I'm gonna read it or anything.
I hope the official OGL license. Hey, we're a bunch of fucking morons. We're just sorry. Kidding. Yeah. Lol, JK.
Lol. That was somebody was testing their new printer. Yeah, but thank you guys for joining us today at another episode of Attack Opportunity. I hope you learned something about downtime activities. I sure did. I think there's plenty of stuff for me to add to my own games, and I hope you guys also found some interesting, especially our ramblings and ideas that came from it.
Because I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something from for our ideas for campaigns that we might no longer be running. It depends on how this plays out.
We'll see how the next few months develop.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, the good thing is that we're not making any money out of it, so they're not gonna come after us.
Nope, they can't. They can't sue us because we ain't worth nothing. So,
we're on the negative.
Yeah, actually, it'll be a loss on there if they even try.
Yeah, for reals. But with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. We're back, I think, with our regular schedule now, adding Warzone on Tuesdays, every now and then. Then on Wednesdays we're gonna be doing our usual Frost Maiden. We're approaching our end. We're at the latter half of the adventure, so that's gonna be fun. So make sure to join us on Wednesdays. Make sure to join us on Wednesdays to say hi to the rest of the crew as we play through Rime of the Frost Maiden. Yeah. But with that, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe out there, and as always, keep on gaming.
Yeah, we're
see you guys.
We're totally approaching the end.
All right, you guys, have a good one. Bye.